Hello and welcome to the monthly Q&A for February. If you'd like to get your question answered in a Q&A like this one, then head on over to ask.fm/Sharmalade and I will do my best to answer your question as long as it's not too rude. Question number 1. Art first. You are so beautiful. I love you, heart, and thanks. And now my questions. Did you ever shot a gun? If not, would you do it? In what case would you kill somebody? Like self-defending or to save somebody? And sorry for my bad English, I'm from Germany. Your English is fine, yo. I can't speak 2 languages, so kudos. Have I ever shot a gun? I have never shot a gun. I've never really thought about it. I've never really thought about shooting a gun. In the UK, like, gun crime is so small that it's not really something that we have to, like, think about. In what case would you kill somebody, like self-defending or to save somebody? That is such a hard question. I mean, in video games, I'll murder all the things, but in real life I don't think I could ever actually kill anyone, even in self-defense or if I was protecting someone. I just don't think I could do it. Just not in me. Like, I'm such a passive person, and I mean, like most people, no one wants to be involved in confrontation of any sort, and I don't think I could ever justify taking a life that's not for anyone to judge or do, or so I'm very much, you know, I find, like, the death sentence and things like that, I struggle to try and have an argument in its favour. I mean, I can understand people wanting justice and things like that, and closure in that way, but I find that I'm very much, I guess I'm very much against the death penalty, the death sentence, because it doesn't sit right with me that we should make that choice, that we should have that determination over someone's life, whether they should or shouldn't die as some form of punishment or justice. I find that a difficult thing to come to terms with, especially if it's because they killed someone. We're just killing them because they killed someone, so where does that end? I don't think I could ever take someone's life or be in favour of someone taking someone's life for whatever reason. Hello, I've read below that you listen to metal. Do you listen to any electronic rock metal artists by any chance? Cell Dweller, Blue Starly, Linkin Park, etc. From Chris. I used to be in love with, like, Linkin Park. I love melodic rock. I really get into it, like Symphony X. I love a bit of rock that's got some epic melodies to it. Cell Dweller, love a bit of Cell Dweller. I found out about them maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and you can't go wrong with a Cell Dweller playlist, really. But I like a lot of female singers as well in, like, rock bands like Evanescence and Lacuna Coil, Within Temptation. Love all of those bands. Hey Sharm, I was wondering if you stopped being a model for MoonChild Coven Jewels, because you looked absolutely gorgeous and charming with those necklaces and bracelets. Thank you. If you did, could you please try and start again? Lots of love, AVR. Hello, AVR. No, I didn't stop being a model for them. So basically, MoonChild sent a few lucky people, like, a handful of their products, quite a lot of their products, like their jewellery and stuff. And I was one of the lucky people that they did send that to, and it wasn't an agreement. It wasn't like, if we send you these then you have to promote us. It wasn't that at all. It was just really a really nice gesture of them to do it, and I chose to make these, like, well, I would pose for these pictures with the jewellery and stuff, and then Gigi would, like, do these fantastic edits on these pictures, and it was just, like, my way of sort of saying, like, thank you, and also making people aware of, like, the beautiful jewellery over at MoonChild. And it was also a lot of fun as well, and I really, really do love their products, and they do create some absolutely stunning jewellery. So I'll put the link in the description and you can check it out if you want to or not, it's up to you. What's your favourite race in WoW? Also, why did you choose to support the Alliance instead of Horde? If you ask me that. I'll probs say because the races in Alliance look less like monsters. My favourite race in WoW is probably Dwarf. I love Dwarves, they're just so cute. And I chose to support the Alliance basically because when I first ever played World of Warcraft, when I first ever like loaded the game up, saw the Night Elf in the trailer, and then, you know, like when you get to choose your character, I saw the Night Elves there and I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. And the Night Elf starting area was just absolutely enchanting. But now, like, I love trolls and orcs and stuff. I feel like I kind of gravitate towards those, but I wouldn't ever go over to the Horde side. I have done, but I just get lost all the time and I end up getting myself killed because I walk into the Alliance camps and stuff and I'm like, oh derp. But I just really enjoy playing Alliance because I know all the areas, I know where I'm going, I know that I'm safe. And I'm not going to walk into any Horde camps. But yeah, I'm pretty much Alliance through and through now. Sorry, Horde. Not sorry. This question is from Psycho Keiju. Have you ever had any passion projects that you've worked on for a long time? If so, have any of them been released? Also, on an unrelated note, have you ever seen Pan's Labyrinth? Passion projects. There was a song that I sang ages ago now, The Baron of Eastmarch, which was like, I didn't release that for like maybe a year, and I really felt like my vocals shone in that song and I always wanted to release it, and in the end I ended up just kind of releasing it. I hope I didn't tread on anyone's toes by doing that. But that was one of the songs that comes to mind where I think that's a song that I really wanted to release that I didn't, and then, you know, it took a long time to do it. But I am the worst for like keeping projects out of the light. I really, when I do something, I really want to release it, and sometimes that's a really bad thing because I don't sit on it long enough to think, oh, I could have changed that or do that and that. Like with Surama, when I released that song, I wish I'd sat on it a little bit longer because there's a bit at the end, all that blood and wine, and I really wish I'd done a harmony, all that blood and wine. And I didn't do the harmony, and every time I hear that in the Surama song, I kick myself. Like, I'm just like, Jen, why didn't you just sit on it? If you just sat on it for like a couple more days, you would have heard that harmony and it would have been awesome, and you could have put it in and you wouldn't have to sing it every time you hear it. So I am like the worst person for having unreleased. I cannot sit on things for very long. So that's why with my latest album that I worked on, my Dragon Age mini album, I got to a point where like some of those songs have been sat on my hard drive for like maybe a year, going on for a year. And I just want to release them, and I just think, you know what, nothing's happening, I'm not working on the album anymore, like, I just want to get them out. And with my album before that, Whispers, I'm definitely going to be releasing some of the tracks from there. A lot of them are tracks that were already released anyway, because I'm terrible at making albums. So, yeah, I'm really bad for not releasing things. And I have seen Pan's Labyrinth, and I have to say, I can't remember when it was that I watched it, but I was shocked at that. I think that was a 15, was it? A rating of 15 to watch it. And that was terrifying, and some of it was very gory, and I'm not into gore, and I'm not into like horror, I'm such a wimp. And that film really freaked me out like so much. I didn't think for a 15, I found it to be extremely strong for a 15. What song was the hardest one for you to record from Cage the not orc panda orc? Oh, that's hard. So many songs are hard to record. Like, the amount of songs that I've done, and you just have to be in a good headspace. You have to think, yeah, I could do this, just make it your own, tackle it, do it. And if you've got that good headspace, the song isn't necessarily hard, but if you haven't got that good headspace and you go in thinking, I'm going to struggle with this, then the song becomes hard to record. I think One of a really hard song for me to record was All of Me, which was a Whale parody with C. Michaels, and I sang it in my head voice pretty much the whole way through. I only went into my chest voice on a couple of notes. That was incredibly hard for me to record, and by the end my voice was just going so strawy, and I don't know how I managed to record that much in such a clear high voice, because my high voice is my weak point. Even though I work up the scales and I try and have a strong middle, a strong high and strong lows, my high's always been weak. So that was a really hard song to sing. And also Lillian, which was he did the piano for it and I sang over it, and that was hard because that was another very high song. Oh, it's just doing that for a long period of time, it fucks my throat up. It does something to it, and so those are two songs that I'd say probably were pretty hard for me to record. Can you dab? Can you show off a sick dab? Is that in it? I don't know what dab is, but my Ian's sister's daughter, I learnt about dab through her. She sent us a WhatsApp message of her doing the dab, and I was like, what the hell is dab? Oh, dab, like if you dab something up, if you spill something and you dab it up. But apparently it's a dance move, and you know, I'm in my 30s. I don't dance anymore. That was back in my youth. How is your day? Great. Weather looks pants though. Gonna take Mags out soon. Probably gonna get absolutely soaked because the weather today cannot make its mind up whether it wants to be sun. It's currently sun. There's raindrops on the window though, and I guarantee within the next 5 minutes it's gonna be absolutely hammering it down. Hello, this isn't really a question, or is it? It has to be now because there's a question mark there, but does a question mark make it a question? Or is that just what we perceive as an indicator for a question? While on the subject, I suppose it must be asked as well, what even is a question? From Cage the Not Orc, Panda Orc. Why? Is your best friend Jaja engaged in her newest picture? I noticed ring on the left finger. What? Just wondering, none seems to ever realise that because they're stunned by Jaja's beauty. That's news to me. If she's got engaged, then that is news to me. She's not engaged. She hasn't. Where have you seen a ring on her left finger? Are you sure it's not because the picture's like reversed or something? She's not engaged. Right. I need to finish it there because I don't want to run out of questions. Please, if you want to get a question answered, head on over to ask.fm/Sharmalade, and just, you can ask more than one question as well. Cage, he goes off on one. He asks every Q&A I've done, there's probably been a question by Cage in it. So be more like Cage. You can ask me anything as long as it's not too rude, and I will do my best to answer it. Have a fantastic week, and I will see you soon for the weekly vlog.